into a BBA course irrespective of the discipline. And here I would very proudly like to tell you that one of our science student from the batch this time has got into IIM Indore. So we have got IIM Indore. Her name is Anbi Nigam and she comes from a science background. Can I have a round of applause for her, please? The next speaker is Supratim. And Supratim has, I think, got $1 million smile. So on that note, Supratim, please come and take the stage and tell us how did the magic happen?
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. You know what? Sitting there, I was so nervous. You know, just 3 or 4 months back, I was there where you are right now. I just passed like 2 months ago, my result came. You know, if 2 years ago when I joined Akshara, somebody told me, here Supratim, tu na first attempt में 45 days में CA foundation निकाल लेगा. I wouldn't have believed it. क्या मजाक कर रहा है? But you know what? I did. And that is why I am standing in front of you giving this lecture. So, you know what? This title, you can see, How to Crack CA Foundation in 45 Days. It's a clickbait, yaar. मैं मजाक कर रहा हूँ, ये ऐसा नहीं होता. You know what? I did crack my CA Foundation in 45 days. That's why I will tell you how to not crack it in 45 days. Take your time and do score so much that you get an AIR. I will give you that strategy. But before that, I will tell you how this presentation is divided. It is divided into 4 parts. First, I will tell a bit about myself, about how I joined the school, and then I will tell you about what is CA, why CA, and some of my strategies, the pro tips. Yaar, जानना तो पड़ेगा. So, anyways, this is me. I am Supratim. I have cleared my CA Foundation exam in the May 26 attempt. I have also scored 94.4 in my CBSE board exams. I was also the economics subject topper, and I was also the president in the Young Economics Club last year. Obama. Anyways, so my journey at Akshara started in the year 24 when I opted for the commerce stream. Subject नए थे यार. Accounting, economics, applied mathematics, business studies. I didn't know any of it. But you know what? My teachers helped me through every bit of it. And you know what happened in the end? I didn't need to take any coaching. Not for my 12 board exam, not even for my CA foundation. Isn't that just crazy? And you know what? The most memorable thing I did in Akshara. Can you see the first image? Yes, that is me when I represented our school in IIT Bombay for the National Entrepreneurship Competition, where our school took the title of the second runner-up. Round of applause. Now tell me, how many of you are commerce students? Wow. How many are doing CA? Wow. How many want to take commerce? Thank you. Next slide, please. Next. Why CA? अच्छा यार क्यों CA बनना है वो पहले बताइए. CA क्या होता है वो पहले जानना है. And tell you the first thing only यार. चलो. What is CA? चलो मेरे को definition देखने दो एक बार. यहाँ पे मैंने लिख के रखा है. CA, also known as Chartered Accountant, is a globally recognized finance profession who provides expert services in auditing, taxation, financial reporting, and corporate advisory. ये हुआ formal definition. Now I'll tell you how the exam is divided. The exam is divided into 3 parts: CA Foundation, CA Intermediate, 2 years of articleship, and then CA Final. A lot of stories there. So, our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister said, ये PM की उतनी सिग्नेचर की ताकत नहीं है जो एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट की है. बजाओ तालियां, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने बोला. So, but that signature itself comes with a lot of responsibility. So, if you think you want to become a chartered accountant, there are a lot of things you need to consider. Why CA? So, CA is a course. Like when you do CA, you get to not only to know about accounting, but you get to know about corporate laws. Companies Act सुना रहेगा किसी ने, है ना? We get to know पूरा पढ़ना पड़ता है यार Companies Act. And then we get to know about auditing, how business works, how profitability is, how financial management works. Baapre. You get to know the DNA of a functioning business. And you know the best part about CA? It is wholly merit based. Wholly merit based. ICI doesn't care for favorites. Yeah. ICI सबके लिए एक होता है. ICI ने बोला है, if you get the marks, you get the degree, you get to become a chartered accountant. Yes. So if you want to become a CA, there are a lot of things you need to do. First of all, sacrifices. यार मन नहीं कर रहा पढ़ने का, कल पढ़ लेता हूँ. अरे फुटबॉल मैच यार 3 बजे तक जाके देख ही लेता हूँ, क्या ही होगा? No. You need to study, you need to have a proper schedule. You have to skip a lot of gatherings. But that is a compulsory, yeah. And what happens is, at times, you get stuck in a loop of attempts. So you need to be aware कि if you have a goal, you need to be set कि मुझे करना ही करना है. Right? So now I've told you about. Okay. So I'll share you some of my strategies which I used to clear my CA Foundation exam. But before that, I'll tell you what subjects are there. For CA Foundation, 4 subjects are there: accounting, business economics, quantitative aptitude, and business laws. Although all 4 of the subjects you need to focus equally hard on, but business laws is a subject which you have not studied at all in your grade 12 or grade 11 for that. Why? Because it is not only there now, but you need to prepare for it, right? So I'll share you some of my strategy. If you are in grade 11, you should listen to it. You should take your time and understand ki if you want to take this journey or not. But if you are in grade 12, okay. So first one. First, you have to analyze your syllabus. Syllabus, you need to understand which chapter has the most weightage. You need to be thorough with your syllabus. ये ऐसा नहीं है कि अगला चैप्टर आएगा पढ़ लूंगा, नहीं. You need to be aware, you need to be thorough. You need to attempt those chapters which are easy. Not only that, but you need to practice those important chapters. The second part, important chapters. What happens is that oftentimes we do chapters which are easy, not big, but they don't give you marks. For example, I'll tell you some of the few chapters. Like Indian Contract Act is there. It gives you 30 marks out of 100. That is a total weightage of that chapter. For accounting, there are chapters like final accounts is there. Then there is share capital is there. Bank reconciliation statement, cash book, and all that. Those chapters will give you like वो क्वेश्चन आते ही है ना, वो पढ़ के जाना है ना. And then there is subjects like mathematics. For mathematics, the most important chapter will be time value of money. If you don't know how to do financial calculation, करना तो पड़ेगा यार. And then there are topics like statistics is there, then probability is there, then LR is there. A lot of questions are asked from those chapters. And for economics, the weightage is almost equal in all of the chapters. So like you don't have to like study for one particular chapter explicitly. You have to study everything. And the third point is study every day. I think it is a lot of commitment to us to study every day. Sometimes you don't feel like studying, but honestly, it is the most important thing I'll about to tell you. If you are in grade 11, take your time if you want to do CA or not. But if you are in grade 12, you need to take at least 1 hour every single day. Here I will share you one of my mistakes. Yeah, I did not study for CA Foundation in my grade 12. That is why this title came, How to Clear CA Foundation in First Attempt. That is the only reason that came. If I had studied in my 12th year at least 1 hour every single day, it wouldn't have been like this, and the challenge would have been much easier. So even if you're going out for partying or going out to do some trekking, you need to study. That is a compulsory. And the fourth point, what we all love, taking breaks. ऐसा नहीं कि पूरा दिन break ले लिया. No, that is not break. Break is when you are studying for like 4-5 hours. That is unhealthy. You need to take at least 10-15 minutes. Only 10-15 minutes. Break and then continue with your studies. That's it. And the fifth and my last point. Next slide. Mentality. You should not be like, यार मुझे नहीं आता, I won't be able to give it, I will fail. No. When you are giving your exam, you always need to think, nah, I pass. Everything is aside. You need to be so sure about yourself. No matter what your relatives tell you, nah, I pass. That is the only statement you need to tell them. That is the only thing you need to tell them, every one of them. To conclude, I would like to say next slide. Even if you are starting your CA journey, even if you haven't started your CA journey, even if you are thinking to start your CA journey, one thing for sure I will tell you. Okay guys, serious here. One thing for sure I will like to tell you, like don't wait for the perfect opportunity. It will never come to you. If you're thinking, I want to do CA, but I'll feel like maybe doing it in January attempt. No. If you want to do CA, you need to be serious about it. You need to be so sure that I need to do it, या फिर जाने दो उसको. You need to think कि what I will do. Time will never come. No one will tell you कि now today is a good day. You will start your studies. That won't happen. Like always be aware. No perfect time will come. And that's about it. It's an honor being here. Thank you so much for having me back, Akshara. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Supratim. I would say Mr. Day, आप तो बहुत अच्छे CA बनेंगे. Great job. I would like people to ask questions. So, any questions for Ashmit? You have a question?
Looking back at your preparation, what was the one topic you found tricky and how were you able to conquer it?
Okay, so the topic which I found really tricky would be Indian Contract Act only, because it is a chapter of 9 units, right? So when you think about doing it, you will think, yeah, बहुत बड़ा syllabus है, you won't be able to do it, right? So in my 45 days, what I did was that I did half of it. The important topics like there is agency, bailment and pledge. You need to know these topics, right? You need to prepare them thoroughly. Some topics, देखो, I had less time. But when you are doing your CA foundation exam, like you have 1 year right now approximately, you should start from today so that by the time you're doing foundation, your base is clear. So that is one topic which I found difficult. And the other topic would be share capital. Share capital, there is one topic which is redemption of debentures. And it is not what you are studying in 12th, it is much different, right? You have to create a whatever. Connect with me later, I'll tell you about it. Okay. Anyone else? Sure.
How did you remember all the sections for business laws?
This is a very good question. See, one line answer, you don't need to remember sections. What happens is that if you write wrong sections in your answer paper, the examiner will just see it and cancel it at once. So, of course, we need to remember some specific sections. That is, you must. For negotiable instrument act, there is a few sections, one and there are there. But aside from that, you don't need to write sections. You will always start with the answer with by the provisions of the dash 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 act. फिर उसके बाद like what happened and all that. There is an answer writing format which you will find in the suggested answers in the ICAI site. Right? If you see it, if you will analyze the paper, you will be able to do it.
But there are lots of sections, so could you remember all of them or did you not?
No. I didn't remember the section. Like, are you asking the section names like 2A, 2B like that?
Like what section contains what?
You need to remember everything. Everything. Even if you don't remember the section title, that is fine. ICI will forgive you. But if you don't know the content of the section, where marks?
Thank you.
Hello, my question is for Srujan. So, how was your personal interview and was there anything that caught you off guard and how were you able to tackle it?
My personal interviews. So I had a lot of personal interviews. I had applied to a lot of private universities as well. So my first personal interview was for Flame University, and I didn't really want to get in, so I gave it in a tank top, and I just wanted the experience, and it went really well, and I got a 100% scholarship. So I was like, this is great, very easy. So then I had my first IIM interview with IIM Indore, and they asked me तुम कौन से stream से हो? I was like arts. They said ठीक है, अब तुम्हारा maths का favorite कौन सा concept है? I wanted to close the meeting, and I said probability because very simple concept, nice, dice roll karenge. He gave me some question. I yelled out a random number, and he was like, correct hai, kaise kiya? I was like, what?
Was it actually correct?
No, it was correct, but when I explained to him how I did it, it was wrong. So he knew. So that's why I didn't get into Indore probably. But point is ki, be thorough with your niche or whatever it is, because what you speak in your interview is what you'll get tested on probably. Be clear about your strengths and weaknesses, and that should be enough to get you in mostly.
So your Bodh Gaya interview, that was about the film. So were you able to steer the conversation to that side away from academics, or was it something that they were interested in?
So you have a write-up. So when you're writing your write-up, you should usually give your write-up in a way that on topics that you're comfortable with. So I did not mention the fact that I'm weak at maths and whatsoever, obviously. I mentioned a lot about my sports, extracurriculars, and my business achievements as well. And I've done internships already. So that was what I had mentioned. So that's why I think the interview went quite smoothly there.
Thank you, Srijan. I think it was a very, very good session. So my big thank you to all of you. Okay. If you have any queries or questions, you could please send it to us, and we will give it to the respective anchors here. They will be able to, these participants, these mentors will be able to help you. So you could send us. You could also connect with them. As we always say, once an Aksharite, always an Aksharite. So you can connect with them also. On that note, thank you very much. And Akshita ma'am, will they proceed to the classes? Right now, do they have their bags? What is to be done?
We will go.